neutrality and video games. Net neutrality is a topic that many people have been talking about lately. Still, a slightly less known topic is how it can affect the video game industry. More specifically, how does net neutrality affect their distribution and availability? Well, first off, we need to understand what net neutrality is. Now, imagine a highway where all cars are allowed to go up to the same speed without restrictions. The only thing that keeps them from going faster than the others are how they were made and the maintenance they receive. Likewise, within net neutrality, the ISPs, or Internet Service Providers, are the regulators on the highways we drive on. In 2010, the Open Internet Order proposed the U.S.'s Federal Communications Commission, or FCC, brought forth several rules to protect net neutrality. No blocking content, which means ISPs could not block specific websites or services. No throttling, the intentional slowing or speeding of an internet service by an ISP. No paid prioritization, which would include charging a specific server provider like Netflix more in order to use a fast lane and pay for the heavy burden they place on broadband. However, this would create a slow lane that could potentially slow down other services. Transparency. Also, the rules state that ISPs must disclose network management practices, speeds, and terms of use to all customers. In fact, in the United States, the internet used to be considered a common utility and therefore the government had control over it. Those against net neutrality claim that this impedes capitalism, but those tend to be the big ISPs that have shown tendencies towards monopoly. The US government used to control the ISPs and how they distribute the internet. They were the leash masters. Not anymore. Here, I actually have the video about McDonald's and guess not? Alright, well, I guess moving on. In 2015, under Trump's administration, these rules were struck down by the FCC despite massive protests. This is mainly due to lobbyists who convinced the senators and House representatives that net neutrality was hurting their economic freedom. Can you guess who is behind this lobbying? If you guess ISPs, then you're more than right. Before I explain net neutrality today and how it relates to video games, I must ask, why are these things that are happening in the United States important to Mexico and the rest of the world? Well, Mexico has a long-standing history of following in the United States' steps. It could only be a matter of time before Mexico implements these rules, or lack therefore. In fact, the pre-administration in Mexico mentioned last year that they might censor any publications they deem harmful towards other people, most likely high officials. First off, though, we need to know that ISPs can block certain parts of the web or make them load so slow that it deters people from using them. This could happen within the following situations. But let's talk on how net neutrality might affect video games now. Yes, we have to yet to see immediate changes regarding net neutrality, but we will in time. Here are some things we might expect. Online gaming. If you wish to play League of Legends within minimum lag, you will have to pay a fee, so that the ISP offers you the bandwidth that the game needs to run properly. The data required to play the game could then be channeled through a fast lane, or a lane where the bandwidth is capable of traveling faster. If you do not have this fast lane, then the data will be forced to go through a slow lane that does not possess the capability to move data at a high rate. What does this mean, you say? Lag, and more lag. God, I hate it. If you don't pay to play League of Legends, then the lag within the game might be mortal. But don't worry, the ISP could completely block off the game so you don't even have to worry about lag. Downloading and updating games. Download rates could also be greatly reduced unless you pay the ISP extra. As more and more high-end games come out and begin to offer 4K and HDR visuals, their download files are getting massive. For instance, a lot of games bypass the 60 GB file mark. Some, like Gears of War 4, can reach more than 100 GB. Just as online gaming, in order to download games, the user has massive bandwidth requirements. Well, what if the ISP set up a cap of the data you can use? Say your internet plan offers you 50 GB of downloadable content a month. If you want to download a game that surpasses this download size, you will have to wait more than a month from the moment you start downloading the game to the moment you can finish it. Can you imagine the problems users could experience when required game updates come along? Not to mention, of course, that the ISPs could throttle the download speed of certain games and make their downloading times extremely slow. Wait, what? Seriously? Anyway, ISPs not only need to charge the user what they want, but they can charge the companies that publish the games. For instance, the ISP can charge a video game company to allow them to reach the target audience, not be blocked, and to be capable of using the fast lane. In conclusion, net neutrality is said to be dead, but the changes are yet to be seen. With their newfound power, ISPs could block or slow down downloadable content, or even online gaming. Here's the perfect ending for this whole thing. Oh my god. Fine, I quit.